Hi,
Hi,
Andrew.
Andrew Powell from the Kirby.
Hello. This series is so fantastic, and you're both so perfect in it. I loved every minute of it. You know,
Yeah.
Kirby, I'm going to start with you. You know, Death is like this serious ray of sunshine, which I love, which is such a great contrast here. How do you explain how she's so lively next to Dream, who is so dour, or Morpheus, I
Um,
should say?
I think that they come from wildly different places in like mentally in the way they see the world and the way they see humanity. And I think that is where you get so much of her joy and her light. She sees everything. She sees, she talks about it. I've seen so many different, met so many cool people and places and worlds. She's seen so much. So, she absolutely has experienced the joy, not just of this planet and this place that we are, but just of everything. And I think she manages to retain that sort of like that macro perspective. And so even though there are small things that hurt and are sad, she manages to sort of see the bigger picture. Whereas I think sometimes, her brother can get caught up in the minutiae and it's up to her to sort of pull him back.
Well, Mason, what a role. I mean, just amazing from start to finish. And I love your casting story, but and not to be funny here, but it's like a dream role, really. Uh,
Mhm.
how did you think of Desire and playing this being that is so unique?
I've wanted a part like this probably my whole career. It's definitely to be involved in something that's so fantastical and iconic and a little devious and sexy. It's like it is at the intersection of all of my interests as an individual and all of the things that got me interested in film when I was younger. So I'm really honored to be invited to play in the sandbox and to get to bring some of Neil's, words to life, because he's, one of the greatest writers that has ever lived, and it's really cool to get to play something that we all experience every day. That's the fun thing about being Dream or Death or Desire or Despair, is that we exist in the real world as well as in the context of the story. And so it's a lot of fun to kind of go back to that every now and then and think about our function in the universe, and go, well, how do I play with that as an actor, in this piece? And it gives me a lot to work with. So I'm very, very touched and honored to be here.
Well, I mean, it's so heartfelt. I mean, there's lots of fancy, but it's so heartfelt. I'm curious for both of you, did you get to talk to Neil on set or when you're working on this to get his frame of reference? Because I'm sure it must be full circle on his end, but what's it like as an actor coming into his world?
Well, when I got to set, we shot this for a very, very long time, but because it's almost like each episode is almost like its own movie. The cast changed, the world's changed, the directors changed, lighting, everything. So, we all had, this took such a long time to come together. And I think Neil was there right at the beginning and I shot towards the end. So I wasn't on set with Neil, but I did my callback with Neil and Alan. It was just the three of us on a Zoom, Neil, Alan, myself, and Neil read Dream's lines and I read Death, and it was it was fantastic. There were moments where you're like, you have to remind yourself to stay in character because that's what you're doing. And the other part of you is going, the man who created this comic is reading the words with you. Also, why doesn't he know his lines? He wrote them. He did know the lines. But that was such an incredible experience because I could get notes directly from the creator. And that is so rare anyway. You don't often even get the notes of the writer. It's sort of taken and it's passed down and things like that. But not only that is, the person who is responsible for creating these words, who's so directly involved in this adaptation. We are so, so fortunate to have him there and have his sort of, like every part of him and any advice that he had and anything is in this show.
I don't have much to add. I mean, I didn't have a callback, so I didn't get like an opportunity to meet with Neil.
Mason nailed it on the first audition.
I nailed it on the first begging of being it. We had a nice little, meeting, and he really does embed so much thought into every single choice that he makes as an artist. So there's a lot to mine. And yeah, similar to Kirby, I didn't show up until tail end. I think we probably missed each other by a hair, weeks, like maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I really, it was like these self-contained, capsules of time that everybody just sort of lived in their own little play. And then now, now that I've watched it, I got to kind of see all the plays sort of show up into the same piece of theater. And it's really cool. It's like a bunch of one acts
absolutely
in a massive, massive long play.
Well, it's amazing. Congratulations, and thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Have a wonderful day.